Hi, everybody. I just saw a post a few days ago, that said Onision was leaving YouTube. If you don't know who Onision is, I'll approach that in another video. And what I have to say is, Greg, please don't. I'm not saying please don't leave YouTube. I'm saying please don't give advice that you know nothing about. Don't keep giving ratings to teenagers who are still growing about being vegan, about their bodies, about a lot of other things that you know nothing about. You know that your fan base is basically teenage girls, and you give a lot of really bad advice to them. Um, as far as being vegan, there's nothing wrong with being vegan. It's a very healthy lifestyle if you know what your health needs are. But when you are a teenager and you're still growing, there are usually not enough nutrients in a basic vegan diet for a growing teenager, much less, especially with a growing girl. Girls need more iron than boys at this stage in life. And if you're wanting to be vegan for for whatever reason, whether it's because you're an animal lover, or whether it's because you want to just have a healthier lifestyle, great. I support that. But know what you're doing. Talk to your parents, talk to your doctors, find out what your nutritional needs are. Find out, get a blood test, find out if you need extra supplements. And something else people don't always tell you is too much soy for females in some cases is not a good thing. A lot of the meat replacement things in a vegan diet are soy based, and too much soy can mimic estrogen in females. And if you're still in the process of growing and developing, it may be something that would interfere with their menstrual cycle or muscle development, brain development, a lot of other things. If you're already a grown woman, estrogen still might, the mimicking of estrogen still might cause you problems. So, this is something, no matter what your diet is, whether you're pescatarian, vegetarian, vegan, or if you're a basic omnivore like most of us, you need to know what um, you need to have your doctor's advice and input before you start any kind of strict regimen, because you may have needs that aren't being met. Another thing is, Greg should not be giving relationship advice. Most of what he is saying nowadays sounds like a loving, supportive husband of a person in transition. Where just a couple years ago to a few months ago, he was bashing people who were in transition, who, were trying to explain their position and their feelings about this matter. And he is not a trans person just because he's married to a trans person. But he didn't marry someone who is in transition. He married someone who identified as a cis female, who later came to the realization that they were trans. I'm not saying that this is not a valid position, because I don't know that person. I don't have their feelings. I don't have their thoughts. I don't have their vision on what they look like to themselves. I don't know about that type of body dysphoria. I do have friends who have transitioned, and I have friends who are in transition at the moment. So I have a little bit of insight, but I can't know their feelings. You I can't pretend to know what they're going through, because just because they don't know what I as a cis woman have gone through, because I'm a lot older than them. Not because I'm cis, but because I'm so much older than them. They don't know the things I've been through, and I can't understand the things they are going through. That's just being human beings, on the same planet. Something else that really bothers me about Onision is his preaching atheism. I have friends who are atheists. I have friends who are Christians. I have friends who are in other faith systems or who have no faith system. I'm a deist. I believe in a higher power, but I don't follow the Christian religion. That's Christianity is one form of religion. And if it doesn't work for you, it doesn't mean that there is no God. It just means that you have not found the faith system that works for you. Perhaps the reason Greg is so bent on pushing atheism is because he does not he's not in touch with a power greater than himself. I believe him to be a malignant narcissist, possibly a sociopath, because he doesn't seem to be able to empathize with other people. And if you cannot empathize with other human beings, you can't make that human connection. And I could see where you'd have trouble making a spiritual connection. Excuse me. But especially to tell people who are still learning and growing and making their way in the world, to push atheism on someone who hasn't had an opportunity to experience any other, form of faith, without doing their own research and everything is manipulative at the very least. Now, my opinion of Onision is that he is a grown person's body, but he has a teenager's mentality. He dresses like a teenager. He speaks like a teenager. His humor, is adolescent level. Most of his arguments are adolescent level. I believe that he does have some past traumas that are not dealt with that may have caused him to be stuck in this position. And I've seen it in other people as well. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a psychiatrist. I don't have a medical background. I don't have certification as yet, but I've seen this happen with other people who have experienced traumas during their younger years and who are mentally and emotionally stuck in adolescence. Something else that I wanted to address, I have notes here, is, and that goes along with his maturity level, is that he refuses to take responsibility for his actions, for his past comments, his past behaviors, the the damaging of the wetlands, the um, issues with his taxes, the way he's talked about other people, the accusations he's made against Shane Dawson, and other people, which could be life changing and damaging. He's lucky he's not in a courtroom every day for some of the things he said about other people. And one of the things I really, really dislike that he does is the boob squeeze. Now, I don't watch his videos directly because I don't want to give him the likes, but I watch through other people's commentaries. But I judge for myself. I don't agree with everybody else's commentary. I do believe that Greg is, or Onision, or as I like to call him, the Onion. I believe he's an intelligent individual, but as I said, his maturity level is far below his age level. He likes to criticize other people's words, other people's behaviors, other people's looks, but he takes no responsibility for his own behavior, his own words, his own actions, or how he looks as far as the way he dresses and in his skits and everything. Um, he criticizes people for, you know, wearing too much makeup, not enough makeup, doing their hair this way, doing their hair that way, dressing this way, dressing that way. And he wears makeup himself because he has a skin condition. Well, if he's comfortable wearing makeup because of the skin condition, more power to him. If he does, if he has, he wears makeup just because he likes wearing makeup, that's great too. That's very, and a lot of people, that's very artistic. I just don't see him as a person that has any kind of positive impact on the internet whatsoever. Um, I have not seen all of his videos. I don't know him personally. We've never interacted. I don't really want to, but I wouldn't refuse interaction with him if I had the opportunity. Um, I'm much older than he is. He's the same age as one of my children, but my children are much more responsible and intelligent, and they're still fun people to be around. They tell goofy jokes. They do silly things. They're enjoying their lives. They're not 100% mature 100% of the time, because nobody is. But they are responsible adults. They take care of their bills. They take care of their children. They take care of their responsibilities, and they don't put the blame on everybody else when their actions have bad consequences. My children are not perfect, but they are good people. And I see in Greg something, that lacking as far as connecting to other humans. I know he's been on the internet for a long time, at least 11 years. I don't know exactly how far back he goes. And I'm a relative newcomer to making videos. But at the same time, I have more life experience. I have a different life experience than Greg does. But he doesn't want to hear what anyone else has to say, even if they're trying to be a friend. I have seen videos where many other people have tried to give him, heartfelt advice from a friendly point of view or a humanitarian aspect, and he rejects anything that doesn't align with his narrow version of what people should be, or what the world should be, or how he should be treated. I don't, from everything from the military to being a parent, I don't think he has a realistic outlook to anything that has to do with real life. I don't think he has a lot of experience with real life. Like I said, I think his maturity level is stuck somewhere in adolescence, probably about 15, 16 years old. And I think, I'm not trying to say that he's crazy, but I think therapy would benefit him greatly. I think if he truly did have the traumas he claimed to have when he was younger, if he has the issues that he claims to have, where he's asking everybody to help with money and, to support his channel and everything, if he needs that validation from people so badly, a bit of therapy could not hurt. It could help him heal those old wounds. It could help him balance his life. It could help him get his issues in order, be a better husband, be a better parent, be a better friend, be a better human. I don't think he's a lost cause yet, but I think he's moving that way. Some of the people that I've seen try to give him advice, like Mike and Actor, like Mr. Repzion, Premick, um, Jacqueline Glenn. Um, there's lots and lots of other people. Edwin and Mina, well, especially Edwin. They've made commentaries on Onision from time to time, and I believe most of them are coming from a really good place, and they're trying to give solid advice to help this person to be a better human, to be able to connect to people better. And he doesn't want to hear it. I've known people like this before, been close to a few, and it's sad the way some of them end up. They lose the people they care the most about because they're too proud, or too stubborn, or too narrow-minded to allow someone else to influence their thinking. They are right fighters. they'll lose everything they have in order to be right, rather than admitting that, yes, I can use a little help in this area, or I can use a little help in that area. So my advice to Onision is, Greg, please don't. Please don't keep going the way you're going. If you want to leave YouTube, I think it would be a great idea for you to take some time off and just focus on your family, focus on your relationship, focus on your children, focus on your pets, and just be a human instead of being a YouTube quote unquote influencer or entertainer for a little while. Because I can see things going bad very quickly for you in a very short amount of time if you keep going the way you're going. And, you know, if you have criticism that you want to give to me about what you think about what I've said, I'm all for it. I'd love to hear it. I can take criticism. I can take someone disagreeing with me. I don't have to be right all the time. And when I'm wrong, I'd rather be corrected so I can be less ignorant about things. Now, as my audience, whatever, if you have comments to say, whether you agree with me or not, I would love your input. I don't want to come across as though I'm completely bashing Onision, although I have in the past. But I'm beginning to really just feel sorry for him because, like I said, I see where this is going. I've seen it happen to other people. I hope that I'm wrong. I hope that what we see is just an act. But at the very least, you know, like I said, reconnect with the people that are close to you. You say that you're happy with the people that are in your life right now, and that's good. But don't settle for right now. Build real bonds with these people. Don't just try to be entertaining and charming and, be a star all the time. Be a real person. Connect with these people. Build lasting bonds. Don't just try to be popular. Anybody can be popular and be fake. It's harder to be human and be real and take the consequences of your actions and your words. And that's about all I have to say about that. What about you, Tux? You have a comment? This is Tux, my assistant. Okay. I think she agrees with me. Anyway, good night to you all. I hope Greg gets some of this message and that he takes some of it to heart, because I really hope I'm wrong, and I hope that he is not actually the person that we see online, and that he's more of a loving human being than he comes across on the internet. But as for everybody else, be human, be fallible, be wrong. But listen when somebody tries to give you advice. You don't have to take everybody else's advice. You don't have to take anybody else's advice. But when someone cares enough to kind of point out the things that bother them about something you said or did, or, some argument or whatever it might be, at least give them the courtesy of listening. You might learn something about yourself. You might learn something about the other person. Nobody's right 100% of the time. Nobody's wrong 100% of the time. But make that human connection. Instead of being a right fighter, be a good human. That's more important. Love you guys, and I'm out.